You need 2 blocks and a strap, and that's about it. So come into a comfortable seated pose and we will begin. All right. So today's class is going to be for the shoulders and for the hips. Okay? We're going to do some really fun things with our shoulders and our hips today.
So, but you notice that when this plate is higher than that one, but when I switch, I can keep the same. It sounds like this leg is not as flexible as the other one.
We'll work on that today. We'll fix it. We'll fix that by the end of class. Just kidding. All right. Yeah, we're not symmetric. We're really not symmetric. So we can pay attention to the differences on our body. All right. So let's settle in, come into a comfortable seated pose, and whatever that means to you. Close your eyes. Let's take 5 deep breaths just to start settling. So let's inhale through the nose and exhale through the mouth. Let's do one more. All right. So let's bring our hands together and start with an Om. Inhale. Om. Drop the hands. We're going to start opening up the hips so you can softly open the eyes. We're going to inhale forward. Exhale back. Inhaling forward. And let's use our eyes to bring our attention to our hips. So looking down at the hips. Whenever you're working out something, if you can bring your attention, your eyes to that area, it actually makes it more effective. Let's reverse. Let's bring our focus to our chest, the top of our body, our shoulders. You can even look at your shoulder as you go around. I think sometimes in yoga we want to close our eyes and just zone out, but today let's try bringing our mind and our attention, our focus, our eyes to the body. Okay, come to center. And we're going to rock on our pelvis. So I'll show you from this side. So we're going to rock the pelvis forward and then back, and you can bring your hands there. Bring your hands to a place can really help bring attention. So let's exhale all the air out. Inhale the air in. Starting to warm up the lower back, the abs. You can even have one hand on the back, one hand on the tummy. So we're keeping our chin straight. Another way to bring focus to an area is to touch it. And now let's bring our hands to our collarbones, and we're going to tuck in and then open, exhaling the air out into a curve. Open the chest. You bring one of your hands in your back. Maybe both. All right, one more. And then let's swing side to side, sitting. Bring the hands to the shoulders, inhale to the left, exhale to the right. For this one, I recommend closing the eyes, otherwise you will get dizzy. All right, one more. Come to rest for a moment. Feel any change in your energy. We're going to continue to open the shoulders. Bring the hands back to the shoulder, and we're inhale the elbows directly up. Exhale down. You can try to look at your shoulders as you lift. And what we're doing is we're lifting from our lats. So you can look down at them, lifting up. Look at the elbows. Try to engage your senses as much as you can in the movement. All right, one more. We're going to now work on the legs. So let's take the legs out, and we're going to bring the heel in near the sits bone, right outside the sits bone, and then we're going to drop the knee, lift the knee up, bring the leg out. Let's do the other side. So inhale, lifting the foot near the sits bone. Exhale the knee down. Inhale the knee up. Exhale the leg out. Inhale the leg up. Inhale, exhale the knee down. Inhale the knee up. Exhale the leg out. Now move at your own pace. And really look at the legs as you bring them. And don't use your hands to cheat. All right, one more on each side. Okay. You can shake out the legs a little bit. All right, for the next one, I highly recommend you put the block behind you so you don't travel. So there's two options with this one. So I'll show you the first. You have the feet wide, and we're going to drop the knees over to the right, and then we lift the knees and drop them over to the left. Okay, so you can put the hands on the block if you want to do this option so you don't travel. You'll see what I'm talking about if you try it. The main thing is don't cheat by using your hands. So the second option is you come up onto the shin, okay? And you come up by pushing your hips up. And then you bring the hips down, then bring the hands over. So if you don't want to cheat, you should have your hands, your elbows, you can touch both your elbows with your hands. Now, if this is too hard, just go back to this. And you need to have your feet really wide apart so that you're not hitting your knee with your foot or foot with the knee. All right, so pick whichever option is right for you. We're going to inhale up, exhale down. If you do this class a few days in a row, you can get better at this, and you can do it. You can do the next option. All right, just one more on each side. All right, great. Stretch out the legs whenever you finish your last side. Stretch out the legs and just shake out the feet. You can shake out the arms. Okay. So if you want to leave your legs out, you can fold them. You can move onto a block or whatever you want to do. We're going to work on our shoulders. So we're going to be working on the hips and the shoulders today. So we're going to work on the shoulders a little bit. So we're going to do a little dynamic warm up of the shoulders. So we're going to exhale, the elbows back, inhale the right arm on top, exhale the elbows back, inhale the left arm on top, exhale, and then lift the elbows up. So let me show the pattern. So move at your own pace, coordinating the breath. And if you ever get lost, just start over. It's like Zumba. If you get lost, it doesn't matter. You're just doing the movement. That's all that matters. So we're strengthening our shoulders, opening them up. All right, just one more of the pattern. Whew. All right, let's close our eyes for a moment and just feel our heart beating. All right, beautiful. We're going to come up and do a little squat. So we're working on the upper body and the lower body today. So now it's time back for the lower body. So let's come into a little squat. Squats are going to look like a lot of things. You could have, if your heels are up, you can sit, you can put your heels on a blanket. Also, if your heels are up, you can just bring your feet wider apart. There's no, I feel like people think like, oh, my feet have to be parallel or something. You can have your feet wider like that. It can be parallel, whatever feels comfortable. Let's bring the hands together and we'll do 3 ohms. Engage the glutes and the quads. Inhale. Om. 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 All right, beautiful. Let's come off of our squat and we're going to work on chaturanga. So today is a whirlwind class of exciting things. So chaturanga is really a narrow tricep push-up. And I recommend that until you're doing it flawlessly, you should use 2 blocks to lift the ground. And what you do is you bring your hands to either side of the blocks, okay? So I'm having it on the medium side and my thumbs are right next to the blocks. So I bring the hands next to the block and then I bring my chest directly over. So my hands are beneath my shoulders and my chest is right over. So a lot of times I see this happening, like people are going like this, which I don't know what that is. It's some kind of interesting thing. So instead, what you do is you bring your chest directly over the blocks and all you're doing is bending the elbows, squeezing your chest, your ribs with the elbows, bringing the body down. So you notice my body is straight, is in a straight line. If I had my legs out, it would be a straight line, okay? So keep your shoulders are always over the hands. The shoulders don't move backwards. You're just bending the elbows and letting your body drop. So do 5 of them in whichever variation. And bring your elbows closer, okay? Bring the elbows. I want you to rub the side of your ribs with the elbows. So look at your elbows and see, are they going out? If they're going out, they need to be turned and coming straight. So the elbow crease is facing directly in front of you. All right. When you finish your 5, then you can go ahead and take a break. So watch me, I'm coming directly up, directly. Yeah, my shoulders are staying over my hand the whole time, just going directly up. I think I should show from this side too. So look at my elbow creases. They're pointing forward. And then all I'm doing is bending my elbows, bringing my body down. Okay? All right, we can keep working on it. You guys are doing great. Whew! Everyone hot and sweaty yet? All right, we're gonna switch now to legs. So clear your mat of all your possessions. And we're gonna come into a very wide-legged forward fold. All right, let's just stay here for a moment and enjoy a little bit of wide forward folding. You can bring your head down. So options here, if you want to, you can bring your blocks underneath you and put your forearms on the blocks. Feels really nice. All right. So we're going to do something that is extremely challenging. All right. But I'm going to give you options. So let me show you what the full pose looks like. And we've been working up on this for many, many weeks. So what we're going to do is bring our body, you can bring the legs in a little bit, bringing our body, you can see we're bending, just watch, bending the right knee, bringing the body down, okay? So it's really a one-legged squat. That's really what it is. And then how can you come up using your strength without your hands, okay? And then you do a squat on the other leg. And you may notice, like, oh, you have some weakness somewhere along the way. So watch me slowly. There's a spot where I get weak and I drop. That's the thing you gotta watch for. So look at yourself as you come up. Look at yourself. And then look at yourself coming down and see, is there a spot in this movement that you wanna fall? And that's where you need to work. All right, so that's the full version. Let's talk about modifications. Use your blocks. You can come down and use your hands to help you. So this is a cheat, but I think it's okay. So you can use your blocks, bring the blocks on the other side. Other options is you can lift the foot like that. All right, so let's just go back a few more times. So let's inhale up, exhale down. This is a really big, hard one. All right, let's just do one more on each side. All right, great. So we're gonna actually come back down to the ground and work on our shoulders some more. So this one is just like pure candy after that really hard one. We're gonna take our block in front of us and we're gonna bring our elbows to the block so the knees can be spread, and then we can drop the head, and this is gonna open up the shoulders. So if your shoulders are super, super tight, you may only be able to be like this. So just see how far you can come down with your shoulders and however they are. Self-acceptance is very important. So we're just gonna stay here for a few minutes. Other options, you can also have two blocks if your shoulders are super, super tight. You can't get so far down. So we're just gonna rest for a minute, breathing deeply into our lower belly and opening up the ribs with the breath.
All right, on our next breath, we're going to hold for 5 seconds at the top. Biggest breath yet. And let it out. And then come on up.
Whew. How does your shoulders feel after that one, huh? That's a tough one. Okay, it feels really good though. All right, we are going to, let's just rotate out all that. There's another really great little shoulder opener that we're going to work on. So let me show you what it looks like. And there's a lot of modifications on this one, but this is the one that I've been really liking lately. So we come down basically into like a little sphinx, and then we bring the arm, let's say the right arm, out a little bit, and then we lay down onto our side. So kind of like rolling over. Now, if your shoulders are so tight, you may not even be able to roll onto your side. You may just be like kind of pushing yourself up a little bit with the left hand. So what we're doing is we're basically opening up the shoulder up here. Okay? So the forearm is just flat on the ground. This even could be a good stretch. It really just depends on how tight you are. So my bicep, or my chest muscle in the front is very, very tight. So I can sometimes only come to here. You know, it's really like we're opening up the chest here. So just come to wherever it feels like you can get a good stretch. What would this look like for someone who had just a really, really open chest? They would be able to really roll over a lot further, but don't pull any muscles. So wherever you come, you can even let your head rest, and you're basically just getting a nice chest opening. So when the shoulders are tight, a lot of times it's because the lats are tight, or the chest muscles are tight, the triceps are tight. Those are all contributors. Yeah, you can also bend that left knee and set the foot on the ground. Just move your bottom half of your body to wherever feels good. Bending the knees. All right, one more deep breath. And then roll over very gently back into your little cobra. And let's just stay here for 5 deep breaths, looking up, opening up the chest. And then let's walk the left arm out a little bit, and then come on to our side, pushing up with our right arm. And again, we can bend the knees if that feels good. And wherever you come, just make sure you feel a nice stretch through the left shoulder and the left chest muscles. And this side could be totally different. All right, one more deep breath. And then roll back over into your sphinx. And let's do 5 more deep breaths, opening up through the collarbones, looking up. Press the pubic bone and toenails into the ground. All right, let's do one more deep breath. You can lift up a little bit. Oh, all right. Great. Oh, we are doing so well. How's everyone doing? Yes? Okay, good. So we're going to come up to stand. And let's stand into Tadasana for a moment. Just Feel our heart beating. You can close the eyes. All right, softly open the eyes, and we're going to grab our blocks and do a little more leg work. So if you have 2 blocks, you can put one in between the thighs, and the other one we're going to squeeze between our hands. So my block is on the medium side, not on the wide side or on the really big side, right? It's not that, it's the medium. And I'm going to squeeze. I'm squeezing the block, and that's helping me practice working those inner thighs. Okay, so the inner thighs are working. So if I was to come and try to pull the block out, I wouldn't be able to. It's very, very tight. I'm squeezing it very, very hard. Okay, then we're going to take our hands on each side of the block, and we're going to lift the arms up. We're going to exhale into a little squat, little chair pose, and then we're going to inhale up and exhale the arms down. So this is a little chair flow that will strengthen our shoulders and our legs. So inhaling the arms up, exhale into a little chair, inhale up, exhale the arms down. So moving at your own pace. Coordinate with the breath. Inhale up, exhale down, inhale up, exhale down. Squeeze everything. Bring your mind to the blocks. You can even look. Let's look at the one between our hands. Keeping the elbows straight. And now let's look at the one between our legs, keeping the same movements. Just changing where our eyes are looking. Okay, one more. Awesome. You can take the blocks and set them aside. If you want to grab a sip of water. And then grab your strap. Whew. That was a hard one, huh? Okay. So let's grab our strap, and we're going to do some more shoulder work. So take the strap in your hand next to the buckle, and then wrap the hand. Then take the other hand out to about shoulder width. Okay, so that's where you want it, but we're actually going to put it behind our back like this. Okay, this one's going to be so nice. It's going to be so, so nice, especially after that hard work. So we're going to straighten the elbows. So that strap is behind us. Straighten the elbows. Bring the arms out. Inhale. And then exhale, fold forward. So you can keep the knees bent if the hamstrings are tight. And let the head just drop. The arms are coming backwards towards the ground. And then we're just going to breathe here. We're going to stay here for a full minute, breathing deeply into our chest and our shoulders. We're using gravity to open the shoulders. You can even rest your body on your thighs. our next breath, we're going to hold for 5 seconds. And then inhale, slowly, slowly roll up. Okay. You can just drop your strap for a moment, shake out your arms. We can flop the hands back and forth if you built any tension while holding onto the strap. Say goodbye. Little karate chops. And then little spells. And then shake them out. Let's stand into Tadasana, mountain pose for a moment here, feeling our heartbeat. Okay. We're going to work on a balance pose that is also a great shoulder opener and a great hip opener. So take your block and put it in the middle of your mat. Take your right foot outside. I'm sorry, take the block outside the right foot. And we're going to work on eagle pose. So the way eagle pose works is there's several options. Is the full pose looks like this. Taking the left foot, standing on the right leg, bringing the left foot all the way around, and then taking the arms across like this. Okay, that's the full pose. Let me give you some options. Something you can do is bring the left foot onto the block and just step the foot on the block. And then squatting down, bringing the right arm across, capturing it. You can leave the arms like this if your shoulders are very, very tight, or you can bring the palms of your hands together. So you pick the option, and let's do 5 deep breaths here. Really squat down, lifting the hands away from your face, lifting the shoulders up, or the elbows up. And 5, let's hold for 5 seconds at the top of the 5th breath, and let's make it the biggest breath yet. Take out the arms, and then fly. Fly, my baby eagles. Fly, fly. Shake it out, shake it out. All right. Let's go to the other side. So bringing the block on the outside of the left foot as an option. Let's bring our weight onto the left leg. You can either wrap the foot around or put the foot on the block. Either way, it's all good. Then take the left hand across the body, capture it with your right arm. You can leave it here. This is an option. Or you can bring the palms together. Really squat down into the left leg. Lift the elbows up. Push the palms away from your face. Let me show you from the side. And then we're going to do 5 deep breaths. Really use the breath to open up the back. And on our 5th breath, we're going to hold for 5 seconds at the top, make it the biggest breath yet. And now fly, 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 fly. Okay, great. Shake it out. Okay, wonderful, wonderful. We're going to work on some warrior poses. So you can have your blocks nearby because we may use those in a little bit. So let's stand at the top of our mat and let's just stand in Tadasana again. Feel our heart beating. All right, softly open the eyes. We're going to take the right foot into the middle of our mat and take a big step back with the left foot. Bend the right knee into a nice right angle. We're going to push the ground with our feet. So really firmly plant the feet into the ground and take a look at your feet. Make sure that the right heel is in line with the left arch of the foot, okay? Pushing into the ground, and now we're squeezing the inner thighs together just like we did with the blocks in between our inner thighs. Let's inhale the arms up. Look over the right arm. Let's do 5 deep breaths. Squeezing the inner thighs together, pushing into the ground with the feet. And our 5th, let's hold for 5 whole seconds. All right, we're going to take the right hand over our ear, bring the left arm down. That's inhaling. And then we're going to exhale into a side angle. So you can bring the block next to your foot and touch the block, or you can bring your arm on to the thigh, either way. That's your exhale. We're just going to go back and forth a few times. Really stretch through the ribs. Bring the left arm all the way over in your side angle. All right, let's just do one more in both directions. Ah, yes. Whew. And then bring the arms back to straight. Look over the right leg or the right hand. Let's straighten the leg. And let's just go ahead and come into a triangle while we're here. So a triangle is just like warrior two, except we tweak the hips. We lift the left hip up, the right hip goes down. Then we bring our hand down to the block, lift the arms straight, and let's press into the feet, squeezing between the inner thighs. Let's do 5 deep breaths here. And then bend the knee to press up. And now we're going to just swap sides. So let's bring the feet so that they're both parallel and the toes are pointing forward. Let's stop in the middle. Do a nice forward fold for a moment. And do a flat back. And then you can exhale down. Dropping the head. Feeling your heart beating. All right, come back up with a flat back. Oh, yes. And then let's bring the left heel in so the left toes are pointing out. Then you can bring that block over if you want to use that. Let's check the alignment. So the left heel matching up with the arch of the right foot. Then inhale the arms up. Let's press into the ground firmly with the feet. Squeeze the inner thighs together. It's a lot of contrary movements. And let's do 5 deep breaths here, looking over our left hand. Let's do hold for 5 seconds at the top. All right, we're going to take the right hand down, bring the left hand over our ear, inhaling, and then exhaling, coming down, either putting the hand on the block or your forearm on the thigh into your side angle. Exhale, and just go back and forth at your own pace. Go nice and slow so you're using your muscles of your core and not momentum. All right, finish up this last one. Then we're going to come back up. And now we're going to straighten the left leg, lift the right hip into our little triangle shape so that the pelvis is basically pouring out to the left. And then stretch out the arms and then bring the left hand down to the ground or to the block or even the shin, but just not the knee. Don't press on the knee. So let's do 5 deep breaths, holding on the 5th breath for 5 seconds. All right, and on the last breath, let's hold for 5 seconds. All right, let's use our body to come up and then turn the foot. Let's just do one more forward fold because it just feels really delicious. And you can bring your elbows down, drop the head. So if you have multiple blocks here, you could make a little prop stand and let your head rest on the blocks. It just feels really nice. All right, one more deep breath. And then we're gonna walk the heels and then the toes in and the heels, toes. So we come into a closed forward fold. Our feet are close together. And let's just do a few more breaths here, letting your forehead, your top of your head fall. All right, and we're going to bend the knees and just come down into a little squat. And then we're going to sit down and we're going to do a little seated twist. So let's bring the legs out straight and then bring the right heel next to the left hip. The left heel can be by the right, or you can leave this leg straight depending on if you have any tightness. So we're going to turn over to the right. So bring the left elbow to the right knee, turning around. Let's do 5 deep breaths, holding on the top of the 5th for 5 seconds. And 5. Unfurl, taking the right leg out. Shake out the legs and shake out the upper body. And then let's bring the left knee or the left heel in next to the hip. And then bring the right heel in next to the left hip. Hook the right elbow on the left knee. Take the left hand behind, turning to the left. Let's do 5 deep breaths. Each breath progressively deeper, using the breath to open the ribs. And our 5th breath, we're going to hold for a whole 5 seconds. And then unfurl slowly. Whew. All right, take the legs out, take the arms out, shake it out. And we'll come down and do a little happy baby, just to let any tension out of the back from this crazy hard class that we just did. So you move your legs up or down, depending on which part of your back needs more attention. Rocking back and forth. And then we'll rock out the length of our spine, touching the feet in front. You can touch the feet behind you or just bring them near your head. Inhaling when your feet come in front. Exhaling when the feet come behind.
And if you want to, you can roll into a plow pose. You can bring your hands and touch your feet. And if this is not going to work for you, you can just have you can keep your feet in a happy baby. So whichever pose you're in, take one more deep breath. And then slowly roll out, and then come on down to your Shavasana. You can just rest in your Shavasana. So I highly recommend staying Shavasana for at least 7 minutes, if possible. It lets your body integrate all the things you just did, all the hard work. But if you're short on time, I understand. And you can do your Shavasana more later. So feel free to stay in Shavasana longer, or you can come and sit and bring your hands together, reflect on your intention for practice, check in with how you're feeling. And let's close with an Om. Inhale. Om. And may the benefits of this practice benefit you and everyone you meet. Namaste.